I haven't really thought about it as a business. Like I know people do YouTube for like work.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
weird to me. I don't know if I ever want that. It's like it's kind of fun, and then if I feel like if I did it for work and it was like 40 hours plus a week, I'd be like, yeah, it sucks.
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to the conversation we had, was it last week, 2 weeks ago? Where it was like
Yeah,
some people who make content end up having to make certain types of content to increase their
yeah,
numbers, and then they end up not liking to doing the content thing. And yeah, it's like a weird
yeah.
cycle.
Well, and I've been like I said, I've been trying to explore the different algorithms of the different platforms, and I'll upload shorts to the channel. They do pretty well. I'll upload them to Instagram, like same video, nothing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes vice versa. Like sometimes something will go like really well on Instagram and then not at all on. So it's
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say really. Nothing I've done on Instagram is really well. It's gone really well
Okay,
because
that's more consistent
I
with
mean,
what I know.
a few hundred views. Like to me, that's probably noise. Like I
Mm,
maybe if you don't have any views on Instagram, I'm sorry, but I don't really think 100 or 200 views on Instagram is notable.
mm.
Um, but I what I've been discovering is that the algorithm on every platform is not kind to discovery, right? So if you're just
Yes, that
starting
makes
out,
sense. Right,
like you
right.
might get lucky and you hit, a million or tens of millions of views, but probably not.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people who are either aspiring to be a creator, uh, one, welcome. You don't get recognition no matter how brilliant you think you are. And if you don't believe me, take an art history class and they will tell you about all sorts of people you've never heard about who aren't really famous outside of the field, but are the reason art exists.
Mm.
A lot of thankless, work. Not everyone gets famous. But two, I would say it if you're doing it, be consistent. Like it's like everything else in life. You want to be successful at a job, be consistent, be dependable. If you're gonna show up at 8 o'clock, show up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
If you're gonna post frequently, post regularly. Like I find that 2 to 3 shorts a week on the channel, and then we're working on clips and doing video stuff. Like you have to watch the data and the metrics you're getting to make sure that there's some kind of an impact if you care, or if you're trying to grow. Like that's a different strategy. Then I'm just going to throw out stuff to the world and just like see what happens. But I think people I can see after I've spent like a couple weeks now, I wouldn't say focused on YouTube, but I've spent like, I don't know, call it 10 hours a week, trying to understand it, trying to see if I can develop the audience or not. And so far it's been working. So thanks for subscribing. Um, but I can see where it gets really easy for people to like get way too into the data and start to get validated by the data. And I didn't get any
Mm.
likes, or this one got 1 million views and this one only got 400, and now my life is over, kind of stuff. And like,
Speaking from experience.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm texting Nathan all the time. I'm like, oh, I got 5 views, let's go.
New sub, yes.
I know, right? Well, and I think it's a few different reasons, right? So it's like, and we were just talking about this offline too, but we've been on Spotify for almost 3 years now since this thing started.
Whoa, no way, really? Wow.
Yeah, 2023.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just now got access to a bunch of shit I didn't even know existed because I hit some magic milestone in the algorithm for creator
Well, I
tools.
mean, I'm sure that the feature didn't exist back then too, right? Like the transcription thing. I'm sure. Did they?
It's
Spotify have
part
one?
of it. It's part of it. I
They
don't
haven't
know
now.
if they've always done it, but
Right.
and we're kind of, yeah. So part of it was that it now allows me to do transcriptions or upload them, I think. And I don't know if it's because I hit a milestone or if they've just matured the feature. But there's a bunch of other creator tools that like got unlocked too, and cool. I guess like I think it's just, why not just give people everything, or have
Because it
like a
costs
basic
money
and
to
an
do that.
advanced mode. But I mean, this kind of goes back to like these platforms I'll sell you on, like anyone can be a podcaster, anyone can be a YouTuber, anyone can be a creator. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but you're not going to probably explode overnight with popularity and success. Like maybe again, you get lucky. But what I'm finding is the algorithm is very unkind to new stuff, and especially things that are not fitting within a specific niche. So there's
Yeah.
all sorts of niches within tech, right? That we could be hitting, like the news run recap, reviews, unboxings, hardware, software stuff. Like we're
Yeah.
kind of all over the place in like the tech, science and tech. And the podcast itself, I'm talking to people who are doing all sorts of different types of science, all sorts of different types of technology, arts, that kind of stuff. So the algorithm doesn't really know how to push us into the niche either. And it's really interesting to see how different things respond. And then like the next thing, which is like either similar or very different, it doesn't ever do what I think it will.
Yeah. There are two things I wanted to mention. One's a little bit of a
Yeah.
tangent, so I'll leave that to later. But I'm overstepping because I don't know anything about this content creation. But I've heard that if you're trying to start building your own audience, on top of being consistent and posting regularly, find the niche
Yeah.
because that seemed to be what the recommendation engine can at least anchor on. So if you're doing some topic consistently, other people who are doing the topic who have more viewers than you might become one of the recommended because of your closeness to it. The
100%.
variety stuff, yeah, the variety stuff doesn't come until you actually have like a large enough following and you've established your brand that you can actually do whatever you want to do and still have followers, right?
Yep. And I
Um,
said that.
yeah, yeah, which I commend you on because that's the whole point of 3.8, right? It's like do the stuff that you actually find
Yep.
valuable and want to do.
Exactly.
Um,
And that might translate into success in the algorithm and it might not, right?
yeah,
And we were talking about this and I kind of hesitate to talk about this stuff too. 'Cause I really don't care, but I find that you have to like play some of this game to like get people to be exposed to your content. So like, was it back in August? I didn't even track like
yeah, before,
downloads and stuff for
yeah.
the
When you
audio,
first
right?
started, right?
And I started tracking anonymous statistics because I don't care about the audience segmentation and who people are and all that creepy ad tech. I care about you as people. I just don't want to like try to profit and monetize it, right? I didn't, whatever. And then we started seeing downloads, and then I hadn't even done any like search engine optimization for the website or anything, right? It's just like, so I was like, maybe I should get around to doing that. And I kind of did a little bit. I started seeing web traffic go up a little bit on the site, and then I started seeing some of the episode counts getting a little higher. So I was like, maybe I'll put a little work into the episodes, try to make it more, SEO friendly, try to
Hmm.
help the algorithm out a little bit, give the content. And then not much happened for the first, couple weeks. And then all of a sudden you can like just see it on the data. It's just like straight up in terms of like downloads, getting subscriber data out of Apple and Spotify is strange.
Yeah,
But those data sets also started to trend up, listenership, that kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, that's cool, it's working. And then we had a couple like podcasts where I think we just hit on a good topic or the planets aligned or whatever happened,
hmm,
and a couple of them really took off, and then more subscribers and that kind of stuff. And so I see it's really easy for people to chase that, and if you're trying to make this a job, then you have to chase it, but you also have to keep a healthy distance so that
hmm,
doesn't become the pursuit of everything that you're going for. Because then you're
hmm,
not going to make interesting content. If you're trying to
hmm.
constantly chase the trend, you're always going to be behind it and you're never going to be the trend. And
Yeah.
some people are
Funnily
okay
enough,
with that.
yeah, that applies to technology too. If you're always trying to chase the latest and greatest technology, you'll never make it.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Yeah. No,
yeah.
100%. So yeah. So
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
the other topic I wanted to bring it back to, I'd
Yeah.
be very curious on your opinion on it as a product person, right? Like the whole thing where you quote unquote unlocked Spotify features for whatever reason, they decided to not roll out certain things to you. But I'm
Yep.
going to try and steel man the product case where usually these creator platforms are quite complicated once you get deep
Mm-hmm.
into it. Like there's so many things you can look into. Analytics is just one element of it, but like
Yep.
tweaking your thumbnails, tweaking your content metadata, stuff like that, it's all complicated. So not unloading all your features to the users when they first start might be one way to keep them engaged in the platform. So, sort of like a learning onboarding process where maybe once the
Mm-hmm.
account is X many days old, X many weeks old, we start to roll out the more complicated features because you can easily churn people because your dashboard's too complicated, right? No idea what to do, right? So there is a argument to be made, I think, about this slow rollout on top of maybe saving you some money for not having to roll out all these features to all those users who may not even use them. I think.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's,
Mm.
user cohorting, segmenting, all that
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
stuff. Um, Yeah, I don't disagree with that if the marketing supported it, but it's like you too can be a
Mm,
podcaster and have millions of listeners and okay, but clearly you're picking favorites,
sure.
right? You're giving people the tools and like YouTube, like I don't know, I hate all of it, but YouTube is probably the best platform right now for discovery and it's probably the most creator friendly. I can't
Yeah,
really
I think
speak
we
to
talked about this.
TikTok. Yeah,
Right.
because
There
I'm
was
not
some
on
like
it.
the monetization options and even the amount that
Yeah.
you would get for monetization was much better on YouTube. It
Well,
looked
but not
like.
even that. I think just like if you're wanting to create content and have some sort of an audience, YouTube is like the way to do it. At
Is that
least right now.
by nature of its just popularity, or because of the way they manage their creators?
Probably both. I think
Okay.
they made. I don't know. I mean, I don't talk to anyone at YouTube. I'm not. I don't know. I probably won't.
You don't have a YouTube rep.
If I had millions of viewers, I still would probably be like, just don't with my stuff. Like,
Yeah.
well, that's why I host everything on the website too. Like I haven't done the video on the website yet. I'm deciding if I want to do that. I probably should because I don't want to be coupled to another company, and then when they change
You
something,
might
I get screwed.
you might have to track bandwidth costs if you do that.
I'll be fine. I have ideas. We should probably
Mm,
talk about that.
okay.
I have some ideas.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, but I think YouTube made an editorial decision a while ago to just not do it because like every social platform starts with favorites, right? It's like they pick people who are either on and are generating a lot of buzz and then they promote them because fundamentally it's a populist algorithm. YouTube seems to have obviously that, but they seem to segment the audiences better or the interest better and like funnel you. And so you can be a nobody and you can put up a YouTube video and get, hundreds or thousands or even millions of views and likes over a very short amount of time if you're doing good content.
Mm,
You can also not, right? It just because you're doing good content doesn't mean it's going to work either. So I want to encourage people to be creative and do it. It's just, it's a weird world. Instagram, it seems like they really want you to pay to play. At least
mm.
me, every time I turn around, they're like, "Hey, you could boost this post for however many dollars," and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna give you
I
money
was
to
going to
boost
say,
my platform.
well, yeah, I was like, as a creator, you pay the platform, but yeah, that makes sense to boost your content.
Isn't
Okay,
that
yeah,
nuts?
yeah.
And so yeah, with Instagram, there's three different types of profiles I'm aware of. So there's like an individual, that's what most people are. There's a creator or an influencer or something, and then there's
Mm,
business. And so I'm a
mm,
creator influencer or whatever because I don't give a shit about Instagram for my personal use. But I've been talking to a lot of people in general to be on the podcast. Instagram is like a communications platform. I figure if I have it, I might as well put
ah,
content up. I don't spend any time on it, to be honest. Maybe that's why it doesn't do well either. I just put up
mm,
kind of repost stuff from YouTube. But yeah, it seems like it's really pay to play because I'll post stuff on YouTube. It'll get, thousands of views. And then I put it on Instagram. It's like 4. And it's like, maybe it's not the right audience there, but it's also like, clearly there's something else going on.
or you're not
TikTok, I
paying
don't know.
Instagram enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. TikTok, I don't know. I might do it. We'll see. I don't know enough. Excuse me. I don't know enough about it. I don't feel like it'll probably do very well because it's like you have to create Instagram content. You have to create TikTok content. I can't be bothered to do that. I'm
Mhm.
more trying to give people access to it because there's a lot of people who don't leave TikTok. That is their social media. Okay. Well, I don't reach them.
Mhm.
Right. Double-edged sword of if you're on every platform doing all this extra work, now it becomes work or time that I can't put into other things. So I'm trying to find a good balance of where people can get exposed to the content it does well. So I don't know. We'll see. And younger folks are on TikTok, also kind of YouTube, but also not. So it's like kind of an audience thing. But yeah, so I think YouTube's
Mm.
made a decision to de-editorialize, or at least it seems that way. They seem to be much more, the algorithm works. It's like the algorithm is the algorithm. They're not really trying to cook it too much, whereas a lot of the other platforms seem to be doing that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know,
So
anything else you want
do
to.
you recommend this content creator journey for anyone who's even remotely interested?
Um, yeah, I would say yeah. If you think you have something interesting to say, record it, put it out to the world. Like, don't expect you to get millions of views. If you get millions of views, don't expect that that's validating.
Hmm.
But I you know, it's hard for me because I want people to express themselves, and I want other people to be able to be exposed to that. That's the whole point
Hmm.
of communication. If you're just shouting into the void, you're not communicating.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I see where people get so into it, and it just becomes this validation metric of, and I've even kind of had this. I put out a short, I think it was yesterday, and I was like, this is really good. Like, objectively, like, I've done
Uh,
film.
mm.
I know good content when I see it, and I'm like, this is great. And it tanked, right? And it's like, maybe the wrong people saw it. The algorithm just didn't get the right audience. Maybe I,
Yeah.
am off on what people on YouTube want, or what, the people are, everybody's having a bad day. I don't know. But, I'm not going to stop producing content that I think is good, useful, etc.
Yeah.
Because the algorithm said bad, but I'm afraid other people might, right? Because it'd be
Hmm.
really easy to see. I think I've got the most thumbs down of anything I've done yet,
Oh, interesting.
but yet the views keep going up. So there's clearly the algorithms like, some people hate this, so we're going to keep it going and
Yeah.
see what it does. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have other videos that have like, all thumbs up, full engagement, like 80-90% retention rates, which, is like YouTube gold apparently. And then like nobody views it. And it has to be the algorithm, right? Because it's,
Mm.
if I have, I think there's one, it's like 300 or 400 views. It has 86% retention. It has a bunch of thumbs up, and you can just flatline.
Just flatlined. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, right? So either all 300 people in the world who would be interested saw it, or there's something else, kind of going on. But yeah, so I'd say, yeah, if you think you have something, you don't need to spend a bunch of money on a camera. You don't need to buy expensive mics. Like, if you have a cell phone, start on your cell phone, upload it. There's all sorts of free hosting. YouTube obviously is free, and see how it goes. And if you really want to make it a career, I would say probably don't. It's not really a career.
Mm.
Like, yes, there are people who make money, but like, you shouldn't depend on it. It I don't ever want to tell someone to not follow their dreams, but like, there has to be some reality at some point. And like, the people who are going to ignore that advice and go be successful in like content creation are the people who are going to be successful. Everyone else, you're probably not that statistically. Don't
Interesting.
put your whole entire livelihood on being an entertainer, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right, right. I mean, there might be something you've said about the state or the changes in entertainment that are happening. Right? I do
Mm-hmm.
think that 5 years ago, even like the idea of a YouTube content creator as like a full-time thing was real. Like there were people who
Mm-hmm.
made livings as content creators for entertainment on YouTube, and I
Yep.
think that was one of the big impetuses for a lot of companies to try and move into that space because they saw that opportunity of capturing those types of audiences because those who are younger are not going on your standard broadcasting channels to find their stuff anymore. It's all on the internet.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it's I've always found it to be a fascinating profession. If anyone wanted to try and do it,
Yeah. And if you prove me wrong, great. Like and
yeah,
subscribe, comment on the channel, right? Like, hey, I proved you wrong.
encouragement to prove Andrew wrong. Yeah,
But
yeah.
in like, and it's because I think too that in some regard there's almost no barrier to entry, right? You can do a
Right.
phone. Yeah, we have more of a professional setup going on here, and there's some people who,
I
they
don't.
spend tens of thousands of dollars on cameras alone. Don't do that out the gate. But anything with a low barrier tends to have low value.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
right, I'll keep that out
Yeah, yeah,
there. And not that
yeah.
what you're saying doesn't have value. It's just that the audience might not find it monetarily valuing. So you could have
Mhm.
a profound impact on someone's life or millions of people's lives and not make more than a couple bucks.
Mhm.
And so I think it's around your motivation. Again, if you're trying to make this a job and trying to make it a livelihood, like, you're probably better off learning editing and editing for people, or learning some element of YouTube production or podcast production and trying to get someone else to pay you who's successful, because trying to get that fame, you know, it's like, it's the same thing as Hollywood's been this whole time, right? It's like very few people star in movies and they get a disproportionate amount of the income. If you think I'm wrong, great, go figure it out. Just make sure that, you know, you are living in reality, knowing that you're probably not going to make it. And I wouldn't say have a backup plan, because I think having a backup plan means you're not going to take the risk to try to make it happen. But if you have anyone else who depends on you, like if you have a family and stuff, like probably not a good decision. If, you know, you're young or you have some money and you want to make a go of it, make a go of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is interesting because I draw a parallel to when people, or if I'm talking to anyone who's remotely interested in entrepreneurship, I tell them to take the jump, so long as they don't have the dependency, the financial dependency, because just the act of doing, you learn so much along the way. And I feel like it could
100%.
be very similar for content creation. Like, to your point, there are so many things involved in like a production kind of thing.
Yep.
Whether
And that's like, to your point on startups, 100%. That's why I'm kind of being cautious, because I don't want to tell people not to do stuff. But for entertainment specifically, like if your dream is to be a YouTuber or a podcaster or an Instagrammer or a TikToker or like whatever, like 83% of Gen Z said that that's what they want to do. It's not real. You know, if you're much better off starting a company or starting again. And even if you start a company, like we just had a podcast where I interviewed Austin, and you know, he coined, you know, cosplaying as a startup founder, because there's a lot of people out there who are like, yeah, I have a startup. It's like, well, what are you building? Oh, I have all these ideas. Okay, great. What have you built? Like, what's your customers? Like, if you have a startup and you produce something and you don't have customers, that's a very different problem than I have an idea for a business and I'm shopping it around, or, you know, there's all sorts of like distractions. You know, I'm in an incubator and I'm in meetings and I have this great pitch deck. Okay, cool. That's important. What have you built? What have you gotten in front of other people?